All right, class. So here we are on the download image button clicked. So if we actually click the download image, then we first check to make sure that our uploaded file name is actually something. And it should be because we had the button disabled until we actually had a successful upload. So we really should have that name. And again, if you want to specify your own names, you could modify this Azure Storage upload file async method to pass it a name or to generate a name in another way. And then you wouldn't have to necessarily store it at this juncture. You would simply know what file you want to download. But in any case, for this example, we've decided to store it when we upload it. So that's what we've got right now. So we check to make sure that that uploaded file name is not null. We start the spinner running to let the user know that we're doing something. Then what we do is we call this getFileAsync function. And the interesting thing about this function is that this is going to be the same for images and or text, because we're really just getting an array of bytes from blob storage. So here we've passed it the name of the file that we want to get, right? That was the name that we stored. And then we've got the container type, which we've specified as well. In this case, we just passed it container type.image because we know we're dealing with images, right? And then we say, all right, get the container by type. We've already looked at that code before. And then we specify the blob again, but this time we get blob by reference name, right? We say, hey, we know that this is supposed to exist. So let's check that name. And then we check to make sure it does exist. And if it does exist, then we say, all right, we're gonna check its attributes, which is basically gives us a bunch of data about the blob. A properties file, and what you can do if you want to is you can run the project and you can go into oh, I thought I was running it. One second. We can go into debug mode, right, and set a breakpoint. So I'm going to set a breakpoint here, and I'm going to take a look at what kind of things this properties sends back to me. Here we go. So I'm going to, why can I not move the simulator? Sorry guys. Simulator has completely locked down on me. I can't move it. Ah, there we go. Fine. Jeez. All right. Anyways, so here I am at the upload image. Right. This is what we've been looking at. Here's our image. I'm going to upload the image. Spinner goes. Now I can download the image if I want. I click download the image, and here we are. So I've set the breakpoint. So now the breakpoint is there. So I'm going to step over. All right. I'm going to step over again, and then I'm going to check out this blob.properties. Right. And what I can do here is go ahead and take a look at my blob. And then I'm going to dig down into properties. And then we can see what kind of properties we've got, right? Now, we've got a bunch of stuff that we don't necessarily need to know anything about right now. And most of the things are null, right? But we know when it's been created. We know when it was last modified. So if you want to access any of this information, it is in the properties that get returned by fetch attributes, right? But what we're really interested in right now is the length of it, so that we can specify that when we create this array of bytes. So I'm going to keep this going. And then what it did is it retrieved those bytes using download byte array async, and then we return that blob byte. So blob bytes was this array that we set up. We pass that in as a parameter to this function. It feeds the data into that blob bytes, and then we return that. Once we return that, this is only if it exists. If it doesn't exist, we return null, right? So then we go back to here, and this is where we ended up going after that call, right? So we got that file async, and then we set the downloaded image source equal to, and then we have the same code that we had up above when we first loaded this page, right? We basically take the byte array and we turn it into a memory stream, and then we say, hey, image source, from this memory stream, reconstruct our image in a way that the source parameter can understand and show us in the XAML file. And that is the downloading of the image. And then we stop the activity indicator, the spinning wheel, from running. So that's basically uploading and downloading images. And uploading and downloading text is going to be very similar, except that it's going to have its own methods for converting to byte arrays.